No one is going to tell you the secret behind hackers. So what operating systems do hackers use, how to configure them, and why you should be running a virtual machine. If you are a network administrator, if you are an ethical hacker, or just a student trying to learn, this video is for you. By the way, my name is Priyank, and in this video we are going to configure the hacker's machine and what penetration testers or software developers actually use. So without wasting time, let's start with the video. It's time for coffee. Well, the first question is, if you want to learn ethical hacking, then which operating system should you use? Usually hackers use two operating systems. The first one is Kali Linux, which was previously known as Backtrack, and the second one is Parrot OS. Parrot OS and Kali Linux both have a lot of penetration testing tools, and that's the reason why hackers use it. Well, in this video I'll show you how to install virtual machine and how to virtualize, and the need for virtualization, and also show you how to install the hackers operating system known as Kali Linux. So step by step inside this video. So there are timestamps given in the description and also in the pinned comment, so if you want to skip some part, you can do the same. So without wasting time, let's start with the video. So let's download the operating system. First thing is, go to Google and search Kali Linux. It was previously known as Backtrack, but now it's known as Kali, and the official website is kali.org. So this is the official website. Just click on Get Kali and you will be on their official website. So there are a lot of options that you will see on the official website, and these are the ones. Since you are my viewer, I will explain everything in detail. We'll talk about virtual machines later on, but just try to understand that this is already pre-installed Kali virtual machine. Then you have the ISO image of the installer. Kali is also available for cloud, mobile and ARM architecture, and in the future video I'll upload a video on how to install it on your phone as well if you don't have it. Now if we go to virtual builds, you will notice that VirtualBox is available and Kali is available, and these are the download buttons over here and the sizes. For now we are just going to click on installer image, and over here we are going to download the ISO image. If you wish to, you can download the Kali's virtual image as well, but personally I feel that I will install it manually, because you are going to learn how to install a Linux operating system for the first time. So just go to installer, and depending on your operating system, since I have a Apple Silicon chipset, I'll click on 64 architecture Apple Silicon, and this is the download button. Once you click it, you will notice that a download will start and it will take some time. So meanwhile, it's time for coffee. By the way, you can give me coffee, buy my coffee, give me a coffee, donate me a coffee. We programmers and hackers drink a lot of coffee. Now since you are going into the hacking field or penetration testing, it's a basic thing that you don't get hacked. It would be really bad if someone who is trying to learn ethical hacking gets hacked himself. So I am there for you. I'll guide you how you can protect yourself. It's quite simple. You need to use something known as virtualization. Ahaha, it's time for coffee. We programmers and hackers drink a lot of coffee. We'll start with the basics. What is virtualization? Now in simple terms, there are two types of virtualization, and virtualization basically means creating a computer inside your computer. It may sound crazy, but it is actual truth. So in type 1 you actually virtualize whole hardware, and in the second type you actually share the resources of your original computer. So I'll give you an example. Let's say for example I have a Mac behind me. What I'll do is I'll create small computers inside it, and then I can test operating system. Now the best part is, if something goes wrong, you either can restore the original computer inside it, or you are also in a private zone wherein if something goes wrong, the original computer, that is my Mac, won't be harmed. Now other advantages are, you are actually creating fake resources, but that can be done on some computers. So if you have that kind of computer, let's go into the BIOS and enable virtualization. I'll guide you, and I'll add a step-by-step link in the description to enable virtualization. Now in type 1 of virtualization, you create fake RAM, fake processors and fake hard disk for your virtual system, and then if something goes wrong in your virtual environment, your main computer is not affected. In fact, you can restore the original state of the virtualization. So let's say, for example, if you are testing a virus, a malware or some other program, and if it infects, let's say if a cryptographic malware infects your computer, you can reverse the state and restore the virtual snapshots. Now in this video, I'll guide you how to install VirtualBox. There are a lot of virtualization options available. We have Windows Hypervisor, we have VMware, VirtualBox. I personally prefer either VMware or a VirtualBox. So let's go and install the same. Now let's try to install VirtualBox. It's quite simple. You just have to search VirtualBox download. If you cannot find anything, just put it on Google. That's what hackers do. So this is the download link, and the official website is virtualbox.org. By the way, VirtualBox is free, so don't download it from any other website. You can download from the official website. Just click on this download button over here and download VirtualBox. Now VirtualBox is widely compatible with almost all operating system, and VMware has some paid options available. If you can afford it, you can do that. This is the official website, and over here you can click on Windows host if you are a Windows user. If you are a Mac user, you need to make sure that you have the right chipset selected. Mac has Intel as well as Apple Silicon chipsets, so you can select accordingly. If you are a Windows user, you can click on the button, and for me, I'm using a Silicon chipset. I'll just click on this button. So once you click on it, it will start downloading. You just have to install it like any other operating system, and for Mac users, you have to install it. You just have to click on next, next, next and install it. The wait is still there. Why? Because we need to install the extra extensions. Now go back to the official website again, and on the right down side, you will see at the bottom, you will see an extension pack. Now this is required because VirtualBox will be utilizing our resources and main computer's resources. So once you download it, you just have to open it and it will be added to your VirtualBox. Now make sure you are opening it after you install the VirtualBox. So this is the pop-up that you will get. You just have to click on the install button and the extension pack will be installed. Now extension pack has complementary functionality for your VirtualBox. So it will basically interact with your VirtualBox, and for this you have to scroll all the way down, or you can read it. But before reading, don't forget to buy me a coffee so even I can read it while drinking the coffee. So now I'll click on install. Once that is done, your virtual system is ready for the operating system. Now you have completed your virtualization steps and you are ready to move and install the operating system. Now in previous ages, we used to install operating system using a disk or a DVD that used to have the operating system, but nowadays those operating system come in ISO format. Now there are two ways to do it. You can either download an already virtual machine, already installed virtual machine, which you can directly restore, or you can download the ISO file. If you are doing this for the first time, I would recommend you to install via ISO, because knowledge is important and learning is important. It's not important to install the operating system, but it is important to learn how to install Linux operating system. So let's do it right away. It's time for coffee. By the way, you can give me coffee, buy my coffee, give me a coffee, donate me a coffee. We programmers and hackers drink a lot of coffee. Now, since you have done everything correctly shown in this video, you have the Kali operating system downloaded and the VirtualBox installed. If you have downloaded from their official website, it will be in .7z compression, and you will need either WinZip or WinRAR to unzip it or extract it, inside which you will find the ISO file. Now let's install it. To install it, we'll click on new, and the first thing that you need to write is the name of your virtual machine. It can be anything. Just imagine it like a computer inside your computer. So just name your computer. So over here I'll just type in Voldemort. Now the ISO image is the image that you have downloaded and you have to select it. Just click on the browse icon or the blue icon to browse it, and you can select the ISO image. For me, the ISO image is in the downloads folder, and you can do the same for the same. If you have the ISO image extracted, this is how you have to select it and click on open. Just select the ISO image and the extension of the file should be .iso. This is mandatory and you just have to select the image. It is inside the extracted folder. Once you have selected it, everything else needs to be default, but I would like to show you a few settings of virtual machine or VirtualBox, which I'll show you after the installation. So before that, you have to click on settings, and there are a lot of tabs on the left hand side. In the general tab, there are a lot of things. As you can see, you can configure the processor, you can configure the motherboard, base memory, and this is basically the RAM. For me, the RAM is 8 GB, and you can scroll the wheel to increase or decrease the RAM depending on it. Now make sure the base memory is not more than the half of your actual memory. So for me, the RAM of my operating system or the computer that I am using is 8 GB. You cannot go beyond 4 GB because then your original computer will start flickering. One more thing is you can edit the storage by going to the storage, and by default VirtualBox has VDI storage, and if you want to add a hard disk, you have to click on this plus icon over here to add a virtual hard disk. Now in case if you are short on storage, you can add it. Usually virtual machines have BMDK hard disk, but VirtualBox uses VDI. If you want to create a alternative, if you want to switch between VirtualBox and VMware or other virtualization setups, you can use the VMDK format. Now over here, this is for networks. So in case if you want to have multiple networks, you can add the NAT card. And one more thing, if you want to make your computer, your virtual machine faster, you can go to processors and increase it. For me, I have 12 processors and I can give 2 processors to the virtual system or 4. Please make sure you are not increasing it more than the processors on the right hand side. So for me it's 12. I cannot go beyond 6. So make sure you give access and allow the processor. Now it's time to click on start and we'll install the operating system on the VirtualBox. Once you click on start, you will notice that a window will open up and then you will be taken into the installation process. You need to hit enter on the graphical interface or graphical user interface installation. Now the first thing that Kali will ask you is your language, and then you will move forward with the keyboard. If you don't know which keyboard you are using, just select the American one, and the American one is basically the first keys will be QWERTY. It is also known as QWERTY. So this is how usual keyboards are. If you're using any other keyboard, you can select according to your country. Now what you need to do is you need to make sure that the validation is complete. Once the loading is complete, there are a few things that I want you to explain. So since we are going with the graphical install, it will show us all the installation instruction and it will start configuring the network, and it will ask you for the name. So this thing is really important. So you need to add a host name. Now by default the host name is Kali, and I personally prefer that you also write Kali, but depending on your requirement you can do it, and I'll add my name, that is Enlighten. The next thing is to configure the network. I'll leave it blank and I'll click on continue. You have to create a user, and by default this is the user that I'm creating. You need to add a password as well. Now this password will be used to log into your account, and you have to add a password. Make sure you are entering the password and re-enter the password again. If you want to see the characters, you can click on the show character button, and I'll just enter 1 2 3 since we are doing a clean install. After this, it will ask you to set up the clock and select the time zone. So by default you can select the time zone, and I don't actually want to select. You can select any time zone because it does not matter, but depending on your country you can select the time zone. So I'll just click on next, that is the continue button, and it will start the installation. Before installation, it will partition the disk. Now this is something that I want you to pay attention, because you can use this to install any other operating system and learn how the Linux partitioning works. So in guided installation, you can guide the entire disk. You also have the list of disk available. You can create separate partition for each directory, or you can use all files in a single partition. Once this is done, you can click on finish. Now over here you need to select. It is asking you that do you wish to finish it and do it. Then I'll just select yes and click on continue. This will start installing the base system and you are ready to go. Ahaha, it's time for coffee. We programmers and hackers drink a lot of coffee. After the installation is complete, your system will reboot itself. Now you need to see there is GRUB written on the top left side. That is basically the bootloader that Kali uses, and grub is the bootloader that Kali uses, and you need to understand that Kali is using Debian Linux. Once you click on start and hit enter, it will boot into the system, and you need to remember the username and the password that you set in the previous steps, because you will use them to log into the system. You need to enter the username and password, and like in Windows we have administrator, in Linux we have root user. Once you enter the username and password correctly, you will be inside the system, and congratulations, you are a hacker now and you have installed it correctly. But wait, don't get excited yet, because there are a lot of things that I'll be uploading on this channel, and I'll guide you on things that you need to do and how and what needs to be used inside this operating system for various tasks. So please subscribe, because I'll be explaining a lot of things in the next video. So I guess that's all for this video. In case if you have any doubts, you can leave them down in the comment section. And by the way,